to stay warm. You're so afraid of my affections. You could drown in your own storm. There's no need for reservation. No one else can see. After some examination, man, I think that you've got what I need. It's really alright. It's really alright. It's really alright if you don't love me. What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, that cold-hearted landscape or me? What's that look of consternation? I'm completely in control. So if you're thinking of evasion, there's something you should know. Well, I wouldn't say I own you, but you're a lover without liberty. Which would you rather face, a cold-hearted landscape or me?
Hello. Okay, we are back. What are you doing up, honey? Isn't this late for you, or is it morning for you? Are you feeling the insomnia? Thank you, Agnes. Thoroughly resonated, yeah? Of course. I hope by now. Okay, so I ate. I did most of the dishes. Not all. I will find a way to make this stand up so I can read what you say. Okay, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. What the heck time is it? It's 5:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And XE, you are how many hours? 5 or 7? 6. This is starting out asymmetrical. I was going to make 2 stripes here, and I realize that's going to be harsh on my Toblerina. It's time to operate. Implements of construction. Got the tweezers. We've got the super sharp scissors. We have a hard to see thread here, but we will find it. We will snip. We have others here we can snip. Well, I did a better job sewing than I thought. So why is it I always do a really good job when I don't want to keep it? I guess I have done a good job. I'll have to remember that in the future. I have done a good job sewing. It's not always worked out to my benefit. Gewalt! Okay, the weaving is safe. 1:25 a.m. You should be sleeping. You're young, you need your sleep. Go strong and wise. Garbage is not over here. I must drop that on the floor. Okay, so we've got these back. Oh yeah, this is one. Oopsie. Come here, nanotape. And this nanotape is really tricky stuff. Really awesome on one hand and really a pain in the ass in the other. So, it has its uses. I very much love it for attaching things to Toblerino, like her wigs and hats and her dresses. I don't have to use any, but yeah, let's see how we did here. Is it also, that's what I thought, okay. I didn't think of doing guide rails. That's what we're taught. I'm just thinking, considering my next move, I want to do something different, but it's really hard when you're not experienced in designing for a toe. Basically, something shapeless, or shaped like a barrel, or a, you know, a thumb, a toe. Well, go this way and make it a little tighter. Straighten out. I made you wiggly, you were nice and straight. think that's it. We cannot shrink it anymore. Now I need to bejewel it before I take it off. What is this? This is a dress, a future dress for Toblerina. But you see, it'll be more like this. But I don't want it to just be a striped dress. It's so boring, even though it's woven, and that's kind of cool. So I'm looking for ways to embellish it that are more artful and dramatic. But at the same time, I'm also preparing some simpler shifts like this. But I need to get this. Which way do I want to lace up or lace down? Lace down's kind of cool, but I didn't design it that way. I did design it for, what did I? No, that's that was that. Okay, so it has to go this way. Lace up. And I have to sew it, it looks like. Okay, well, while I consider this, we have a couple of things to sew up. So I better get cracking. I've got a fresh cup of tea here. My eyeglasses have been cleaned with soap. And of course, I have the wrong color thread on my needle. But that is okay. I can take it off. And do we need this? For this? One of these days I'm going to have to break down and get an actual sewing kit. This is one of those emergency kinds of deals. You know, a little teeny weeny. You have 1 yard of thread. Bunch of colors. I think we can do it with this. Now, where is our little clever threading device? It was just here a minute ago. Now that is annoying. Ah, there it is. Okay. I put this through the eye of the needle. If you can see that, it's already a good start. Put the thread into the little flexible hole. Let it dangle gently and then pull it through. Okay. We're going to double it up. Make it stay together. hope this is stretchy enough. Alright, well, let's lock it up right there. No, really, right there. Go on. Thank you. I wish I had my wax. No, wait, but where is it? Looks like I need a new plug of wax. That's to draw the thread through when you have cheap cotton thread. Oh, cheap thread, period. Although, I mean, this is supposed to be a decent thread. But it's still crap. It can't help itself. It was just made that way. Yep, see, there we go. The lace falls apart. That's my best hope, going through the glue. No, you're not supposed to go off to the side like that. What happened? Gonna have to kind of fake it back here, but it will be the back of the dress, so it won't be that bad. Okay. I need a darning egg. gentle now. I'll be reinforcing this with glue. Effect. Nope, don't go anywhere. I'm going to get the glue now. This is really good fabric stiffener. It looks like it's fabric, but it'll actually be glue. There you go. Oops. Don't lose that. So how is everybody this evening? Everybody's so make this into a fascinator. I should not have done this. What I just did. That is why my head is itching. I have glitter on my scalp. Now, for those of you who were here earlier, I have a tip for you in maintaining a positive vibration. Obnoxious voice, isn't it? God, I wish I could remember who Orion was talking about earlier. I see him being interviewed, and I still can't get the name. Oh well, if it pops into my head, I'll share it. Until then, it's a mystery. But tip number 1, I have to do something while this is drying. Yeah. Tip number 1, do not touch wet glue. Wet glue is not what you want in unexpected places, but that's a good place for it to go. There. Okay, just calm down your thread. Okay. Anyway, we have to remember, like I said earlier, everything in your head is an affirmation. The minute you think it, especially if you focus on it, the more you focus on it, the stronger an affirmation it is, which means you're asking the universe for what you're thinking about, more of that feeling. So the idea is to keep upgrading our feelings, catch ourselves feeling crappy. We don't want our lives to move forward feeling crappy. We have to make a conscious effort. Now, I'm not talking about like something bad just happened and you're feeling bad. That's appropriate, but if it's drawing from the past, it's not. If you're making yourself feel bad because remembering something or being self-critical or critical of others or just wallowing in your anger or self-pity or whatever it is, if it's not making you smile and feel light and yay, like that, like, yes, I could go ahead and do this today, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for feelings, not thoughts, but the thoughts create feelings. So that gives you power. It means that if you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. If you change your feelings, you're changing the nature of your being. And that's the idea. So gradually, as you're changing the nature of your thoughts, you're changing your own nature. And, people who want to have love need to learn how to be lovable. But being lovable is not something you can study. You can learn more about relationships and how to communicate better, but being lovable, it's like an inside thing. You project it by how you feel about yourself and how you treat others. So we have to learn to love ourselves so we know what we're talking about and we know what we're asking for. We're asking, we want love, but we don't know what we are and what we're actually offering. If we're not sure of what we're offering, then we have to be realistic. What can we do to improve ourselves? What can we do to make ourselves more appealing? And I don't mean necessarily like externally, but attitude-wise. People are attracted to people who are most like themselves. So if you're someone who's like really moody, you tend to just keep all your thoughts to yourself, you don't reach out at all, you're emitting a kind of a low vibration, even your body language is kind of standoffish. If you're like that, you have to work a little harder, because all you're doing is attracting that same standoffish or shy or whatever it is you are projecting. That's what you're attracting. A lot of shy people are wonderful, but it's work to get past someone's shyness. And unless you are offering something, another vibration, something in your personality is making someone want to reach out to you and go, wow, I want to know you better. I know you're shy, but I'm willing to wait while you get used to my scent. I don't want to spook you. We have all different levels of sensitivity. And that's something to keep in mind, because if you are very sensitive, then, now I'm not saying like normal sensitive, but like hypersensitive, you might want to talk to somebody about that, a counselor of some kind that can clue you into what it is you're projecting to people, and how to remedy that. There are lots of issues that people have that make it hard for them to communicate, but communication is the backbone of every good relationship. You have to find ways to communicate, whether it's verbally, physically, visually. There's got to be an exchange. If there's not, and it's all one-sided, it becomes, only one person's opinion and personality, and the other person, it ends up just kind of like a frog on a log, just sitting there. So what are you offering? What are we offering to other people in terms of companionship, support? Are they into themselves? Are they into us? It takes some time to get to know people. So you have to help them know you. You have to kind of give people some hints about what you're about. What are you into? What do you want to do in your future? Where do you want to go? Do you want to stick around? You want to travel? You want a family? You want to own land or a house? Or you want to skip that and go and live in an urban environment? I mean, there's a million different things that really get decided between couples. So think about them before you become a couple. Is this what you want? Well, yeah, you want to be a couple. We all love companionship, and those people who are the happiest are those people who are in relationships. Those people who have a lot of support around them thrive instead of being alone all the time. Now, I live alone, but I never feel like I'm alone. Really, in fact, really never. I can be without people around me, but I never feel truly alone. And excuse me, on the very, very, very rare moments that I have I wish there was someone here. They're very rare moments only because if I get that kind of feeling, then there's usually somebody there, or very quickly after I get that feeling, so it doesn't last. But most of the time, recent years, it's been just me trying to get an idea of just me, my energy, and what I want. And when you're used to having everybody else's energy mixed in with yours, it's hard to say what you want. You need a little bit of alone time or space, one way or the other. So I'm good right now with that. I don't feel alone. But most people, like especially through the COVID isolations, just felt completely psycho. They need, and they recognize their need to be around physical people. A lot of them, until they were faced with this, did not really spend any time developing much of an inner life. They didn't cultivate hobbies or work on any skills. They found themselves feeling really alone. And now, thank goodness we had technology to help us through the whole thing. Another reason I rarely feel alone is I know I've got a friend in Dublin who's really 5 hours ahead of me, but we talk most nights, and that's really nice, to always have somebody you can reach out to. Now, studies of happiness, I've just posted something on Facebook and my Twitter account about what makes people happy. And we've talked about it before because I've seen what the studies said, but there's a new talk by the person who did the original study and started the whole thing. It's been 80 years now of gathering data on what makes people happy. And even if it's just briefly, and even if it's like just me talking to you guys, knowing that you're in the chat room and you're speaking up every once in a while, and I know you're listening, that is connection. That can be enough connection just so you feel part of humanity, and you feel better about just life. We need connection, and our longevity is directly connected to how connected we feel with others. So we can anticipate people who are left to their own devices for too long may have miserably sad endings. Like a woman here in this building, she is one of those we call frequent flyers. She calls 911 and takes an ambulance to the hospital every time she feels like she just needs attention. And of course that's a very sad thing, and it annoys me because it's taking important resources when she's basically not, she's just basically crying wolf because she's lonely. And it's especially annoying because she's got people all over the building that, will communicate, sit and talk with her, and do. But that's special attention when they've got their hands all over you. So we've got people doing that just to be able to feel like they're with another human being. And it is sad, and it is especially sad to think that our society has gotten so much to this point where we used to cherish our elders. We turned to them for our advice, on how do we get through life? How do we learn this? And can you teach us this? Mentoring. And there is plenty of this going on still. But in general, we have become a culture of send, the relative off there and overall forget about them unless there's something in a will. It's like, oh, do they have a will? Did they leave me anything? In that case, I'll go. Or, get it. There's a lot of that. So, people need people. And that's the conclusion of an 80-year study on longevity and happiness. The happier you are, the longer you live. The happier you are, the healthier you get. So we should be working on being happy. Now, we have been programmed by society, let's face it, to not be happy, to not look at being happy. We have to look at all the reasons why we're unhappy and focus on them instead. While there is some sense to that, depending on, the person and the issue, it's a long way around, focusing on all the reasons to be unhappy instead of how to just be happy, how to become happy, how to make yourself happy despite what the world is doing or saying, or you think they're thinking, which is the worst. I do love my tea and coffee. So, how do we get happy? Aside from the obvious, we need to develop ourselves enough to be able to have relationships. If we feel inadequate or we feel like we're essentially just wrong or not good enough or unworthy, any of those feelings, they're all false. And no matter how you've come across them, they're just bullshit. They're not at all true. The fact that you're still alive is a tribute to how awesome you are. You're still here. You didn't kill yourself before you were 16. That's an accomplishment as a human. So if you are past 16 and you're still on Earth, congratulations. There are so many different little things that drag us down. We don't have to go through every single one. We do not have to heal every single incident that happened, although there are therapies that believe that is necessary. And the more you do unwrap and cry over, and then you can walk behind it, and rather it walks behind you and just disappears, or becomes from a shout to a whisper. It can be done. You just have to decide that's what you want to do. Move on. Anyway, I looked down, I saw all these pretty colors. My brain just went, oh, colors. And it just like the baby part of me just went, oh, and I completely forgot what I was going to say. So we're going to move on to the other part that I was getting to and just skip over whatever was in the middle. Now, you've seen this book on the show before. I am not telling you to believe in angels. The angels actually are us and above. The reason, whether this is true or accurate or not, is completely irrelevant for the purpose. The reason I recommend this book, it's cheap, it's small, and if you have a clock, it's going to make it real easy for you to inundate yourself throughout every day with little positive messages. Now, let's say, what time is it? It is, I can't read that. Oh, 6:02. Okay, so let's take it. It's 6:02. I happened to come across the book. There it is, 6:02. Of course, you are limited to some numbers you're not going to hit because they're not on the clock. But it's okay. You can break them down and look them up. 6:02. Have faith in God's loving power to heal and supply everything you need. Ask the Creator for help and expect miracles. This is an easier book to handle if you come from a Judeo-Christian background, or any culture that believes in angels or God, and that you talk, You can substitute anything you want. If God's not the right word for you, fill in the blank. Okay, this is a personal thing. The point is to have something at the ready that can give you really quick, really short, varying degrees, but it's like quick, open the book, And there it is. The time right now is your positive expectations combined with your creative ideas and actions bring you financial windfalls in wonderfully unexpected ways. These are messages you are going to program yourself with. These are the kinds of things that you use to counter the negative self-talk you catch yourself doing. So the more often you can use a positive affirmation in the present tense. I feel great. I always heal quickly. You know, things like that, whatever you're going through. Phrase it in the positive the best you can. Turn to sources like Louise Hay or the angel numbers to help reinforce things throughout the day. You don't have to like come up with everything on your own. There have been people who walked before you that have, strive to improve themselves and connect with their higher self and spirit and heal their bodies from everything from colds to paralysis to cancers disappearing. That cancers disappearing is a well-documented event. It used to be just anecdotal evidence. Well, there's so much anecdotal evidence that it's now basically it's accepted. Now, people keep calling it the placebo effect, but as Dr. Joe says, you are the placebo. You are the placebo effect. When you think of yourself that way, it's like you understand it's the energy, the thoughts, the feelings. It's not some magic pill. You are the pill. The key to that all, or key to all that, well, my English is degenerating before our very ears. The key is the feelings. If you think of the universe, the space, all the stars, all of that, if you think of it as a gigantic mirror, energy mirror, if you are caught up in a feeling, the universe is not judging. It's just a mirror with lots of energy to give to whatever it is you desire. It's a universe of saying your wish is my command. But don't screw up like that landing party in Star Trek. We don't want the white rabbit to shoot you dead. We want you to play with the white rabbit. I think we can cut that, but we're going to need more. All right, Toblerina. Actually, don't go down that way because you're not that fat. I don't want to knock off the, what do you call it? Her false eyelashes. Okay, that's better. No. I can finish sewing this. I believe that should fit the real life Toblerina. She likes her hats. But that one is convenient. Okay. Now we have other things happening. Oh yes, we need to go ahead and do this one. How about some gold? Look at that. It's pretty good, actually. Calm down. Oh, yes. Oh, good. Yeah, spastic here. Come on. Let's get that through. There we go. Oh, good. Hey, come on. That was crazy. Oh, why did you do that? I really need to do these glasses. I think that'll do it. Stuff's very springy. Well, doing it inside out wouldn't have made it any different. Okay. I hope this works. Got the risky. Let's try this. Hey, not the finger. Might be making it too tight now. I hope not. All right. So tomorrow morning, Toblerina gets to try on a couple of new things. Let's see if they work. We've got this little silver number, but the colors on it are really like, I see why this was in the dollar store instead of Joanne fabric. It was like out of register printing in some of these, and that's not good for people who are perfectionists. If I was using this in an outfit I was making, I'd be pissed off. But worst comes to worst, I can put some paint on this. So we've got that. We've got a little gold net shift. It's kind of groovy. It's like beach, go to the beach kind of a thing. And of course we've got this, which we'll have to continue working on. Let's see if I can glue it together without gluing it to Toblerina model. The model of Toblerina. Come on, just soak in there. We'll know tomorrow. Okay. Alright, girl. We've got that. I wonder if we make it into her little angel outfit. That little wings of sorts. Might work. Let's give it a shot. Could be interesting. We'll find out tomorrow. Stay tuned. Does Toblerina become an angel or a fairy? Part 2, tomorrow, live, here. Oh, you know that spammer that called earlier? They keep calling me. I don't know what that was about. They left a message, but not what it was about. Other than I've been pre-approved for $50,000 worth of something. It's like, yeah, you know, that's a scam. And anything I've been approved for, I get in writing. So they called back again. This time I thought of Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, and I kind of answered it like him. Well, not quite. But you know, like when he was playing Mr. Rogers, you know, I thought about that, and he answered the phone. Who is it? I answered the phone. What? What? There was nothing. It was like they heard my voice and just went. And about a half an hour later, they tried again, and I said, "Hello." And it's like, and then they clicked. It's like, okay, I sound like they're not going to want to bother trying to hard sell anything to me. I'm already in a bad mood. Of course, you know, I'm cracking up over here, but I just wanted to see what they would do. Because if it was somebody official, for real, they would have had to brave through it. Like, it was really like medical insurance that I have. They would have to say something. And instead, they were like, Mom. So, well, that's funny. You left a long message for me. You have something to say? With the word bitch inferred, but not spoken. All right, that might be tight. We're going to find out. I think I'll look now before I put all this stuff away. I've got Toblerone right here. Of course, you can't watch her get dressed. Oh, perfect fit. Oh, yay. Fabric's a little itchy, though. A little stiff. But it's pretty. Let's see if it's... Some of these things are very fragile, but it looked like it went on and off. I can take pictures with it. All right, let's check out the Flower Power. Let's see what we think of that. Oh, that went on super easy. Just right. All right. We are making some progress. The nice thing about that is it's like paying $1 for the dress, because it was, I measured the stuff when I went to buy it. I got it from the dollar store, so I go get $1.25 now. So you get the whole roll, and I figured, well, I got lots of gift wrap stuff now. Holiday stuff, and goodness knows what else I could use this for. I mean, you know, decorating something. This might be interesting in a multimedia backdrop, you know what I mean? Well, we'll see how much we've got. All right, she's gonna have to just rest. She's going to dry up. This could be really cute, but we won't know until tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. We have, oh, yes, we have something else here. Oh, no, that was not. What's the other costumes? Ah, wait a second. We have a whole bag of her finished outfits here. A box. Where'd it go? Oh my God. There we go. Now we got a lot of blue going on, blue green. Look at something bright yellow. Yeah, it's cute. It's sunny. It's yellow. I like sunny yellow. You should go to bed. What are you still doing up? I thought you were in bed already. You have school tomorrow, don't you? Wait a minute, where's my ruler? Oh, no. We are going to cut that down a little bit. Because that is there, so that's the middle right here. Time to get out the glue again. I got immersed in the complexity of physics. Awesome. I hope it'll make you pass the test. Good. Make it so. Number 1. Report in tomorrow. If you're good, I'll allow you on the holodeck for an hour. Make it so. Okay. How cute. All right. We're making progress. Okie dokie. Mwah. Sweet dreams. Oh yeah, the hot outfit. I got some hot stuff going there. I made it with 2 moods. A purple, you know, which then just needs some jewelry or something, you know. Or where you're going to use her to, you know, go incognito in the shadows of something. Or when she is really flamboyant and, you know, she's hot and she knows it, you know, double wrap, nice bold color. Disco. Or runway. I'll have to make something for the runway. But again, it is a toe, and that is not like dressing a doll where you can make trains and things because there's 4 other toes in the way. Okay, these belong together, and these belong together. 2. Oh yeah. The basic black I had to redo. This is not okay. It's snipped. If I cut too much more away, it'll be more like a mini skirt. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Has anyone here seen the movie Over the Moon? Okay. Double check that. Oh, good. Actually, it was good that I cut that a little bit. This is more like a full-length black evening gown. But I don't have anything cool. It needs something, doesn't it? Now I have a string of pearls I've already made her. Black and pearls. That works. And of course we've got this. $5 for your toe, postage included. A toe dress. Your toe should jam with everybody else. I like how that sparkles. It looks good on a toe. You know, Oinkness, Bereka. There's a blazing light down in my parking lot for some reason. What the hell is it doing way up there? I don't know. I don't remember that light being there. It's a lot of light. Interesting. Aloha. I am the fifth person. I'm a tall person. A tall. One toe. Just one. One toad to rule them all. It's Maui Wowie time, Maui. Wowie. Wowie. Okay. How are you, darling? It's more normal time for you, yes? Okay. One of my favorite people as a teacher, I don't know her personally, Esther Hicks. She has gone on after her life mate, best friend passed away. She kept going. And she has been an amazing teacher. So patient. So patient. Yep, Abraham Hicks. That's a joke. There is no such thing as normal. There is only us. Esther and Jerry Hicks introduced the world to Abraham, a non-corporeal entity who, through Esther's patience, taught Esther and the world about, well, some of our greater realities. And they tried really hard to teach what I said in a few sentences earlier. It's about your feelings. Whatever you're feeling, you're attracting more of that feeling. The more time you spend and the more intense that feeling, the more intense will the return be. So we have to think in the future. We have to think, even though we don't know what the future is, we're creating the future. So right now you've got to think about what feelings do you want? You have to be able to get there, even if you haven't experienced it before. So that's why we rely on music and movies and books to bring us into a world that we may not have experienced personally. I mean, if you grew up with a horrible life and it was extremely limited, maybe you never got off the farm, you have to have a frame of reference to be able to create more than what you have experienced. So that's where you want to pair your imagination with those people who have walked before you and laid it out for you and said, hey, if you do this, this is attainable for you. You can do this. You can survive that. You can end up completely leaving the farm, going to the city and becoming famous doing what you love. There has to be something out there to give a person an idea of what they can do to get it in their head in the first place. Otherwise, they can't move anywhere. They're kind of stuck there. No input. No input, and you're going to have someone walking around just kind of absorbing the day-to-day knowledge. And if you want to know about signs for the weather, then that would be the person you might check in with. But if you want to know how to change your life, they are going to be fairly clueless. So we have had many people taking risks and working hard to find out these higher truths and share them. So we have a lot of wonderful people doing this, and I'm really grateful because for me it was as simple as, I started studying the law of attraction, which is what it's called now, as the power of mind, and I started doing that in the 70s. So by the time Esther Hicks came around, she'd already been preceded by Seth. Jane Roberts has had a dozen books out with channeling Seth, another non-physical entity. And before that, well, actually around that same time, we had Emmanuel dictate 3 books. So we have had these wonderful things happening and spirit breaking through all the time. It happens, and it's been happening century after century after century since man has had a brain and has started questioning, where are we from, why are we here. That is when, when we were truly became sentient, beyond just the survival stuff. We started getting taught, led, inspired to do things that would increase our ability to thrive and be happy. And the happiness is the part that got lost along the way. Survivorship, is the most primal thing of everything, right? And we try to be normal, but what is normal? In our estimation, because of the way we're brought up, normal is what other people are doing and not what us. That makes us wrong. And if we think that we're wrong within ourselves and there's something wrong with us, then we are absolutely working from a falsity, number one, but also of a place of no power. You're not accepting the fact that you're awesome. You're refusing it. You're saying, I can't be awesome because I don't match these people. I don't think like them. I don't act like them. I don't eat like them. I don't dress like them. I don't live like them. I'm nothing like them. So, yeah, that's not going to help. We have to not compare ourselves to other people, and we have to learn to love ourselves. Now, that was Louise Hay's #1 project. Her life was spent after saving her own from stage 4 ovarian cancer without chemo or surgery, without treatment. She used her mind to cure her cancer. She took what she learned from her healing, which did not come like that. She had to go through her own hell and figure things out. But she wrote it all down, and everything she learned, she shared. She said, if I can just tell people, if I can give them one gift, it would be so they would love themselves. You love yourself, then you care about yourself. You stop looking at yourself so critically. You stop telling yourself how bad you are, how fucked up you are, or how fucked up your life is. You start seeing the beauty of yourself and the beauty of your life and the beauty of your choices, the understanding and forgiving yourself for not being perfect, for making the right perfect choice every single moment of your life. That's not human. Humans try and fail, and then they try and succeed. The failures help you get closer to your successes by telling you what you've screwed up with. You just can't give up. It's just humans tend to take it all personally. Instead of looking at their life like an experiment and a joyful game, they're looking at like every single movement is going to have dire consequences. And this is catastrophic thinking. This is survivorship. It comes from having some really bad early on experiences and then taking that into your future, where it's hard for you to trust people. It's hard for you to ask for help. It's hard for you to be honest about your feelings, even with yourself. And it's really hard to say, I love you in the mirror and say, I really love me. At least 9/10 times perfect. I'm not sure what that means. You're saying that you are 9/10 perfect? If you can say that, that's awesome. Everything you've done has been part of your learning experience. Every choice you have made was the best you could do at that moment, just like everyone else. That's the thing. Everyone else is going through the same thing you are, even though it doesn't look like it, because they have different kinds of shit they have to deal with. different upbringing, different backgrounds, different psychology, different physiologies. So all of these things are them, not you. You just have to look at you. The bottom line is, are you happy? If you can't say you're happy, then you have work to do. Having work to do doesn't make you wrong. It makes you right. It makes you go, oh yeah, I'm right, because see, I want to get better. I want to be happier. And now I see there's a path to becoming happier, getting what I want, getting what I need. Oh, I want to be I see what you're saying. You want to be perfect 9 out of 10 times. Got it. I think everybody does. Nobody really likes to be wrong, and we certainly don't like to be confronted with what we've screwed up. But the more we get used to just admitting when we don't know something, or when we fucked up or made a mistake or had a mistaken opinion or changed our opinion, that's the cool thing about being human. When we were little, people thought, oh, if you change your opinion, you're two-faced. It's like, no, that's bullshit. You're just saying that because I no longer agree with you. As we grow and learn more, we do change our opinions. If we don't, are we sure we're growing? If we had the same opinions right now as adults that we had when we were 7 years old, how would we live? The most important thing in our life might be candy instead of paying the rent. So priorities, different ages, You have to just learn as you go. We have illusions, and there's also stuff that, it seems like, well, basically society has set us up to fail, which is a reality in so many areas. It's hard to keep up with all of the different games going on around us. And the thing is, you don't really have to. That's the old way. If you're focused on raising your vibration, I'm serious now. I'm telling you this because it's true. I want you to be happy. I know it's going to take some work. No matter how far you've come, there will still be more work to do. The job is never done. This is Earth. We are human. And even though we are more than human, right now we are human. We've got real human challenges. And the challenge as a human right off the bat, I have a phone here somewhere. The challenge right off the bat is to take things lightly. Everything feels so heavy and serious. I do have a phone, right? I heard it somewhere. Oh, it's... I'm looking for the phone, and I'm reading it. But a message came up behind it. We have a name. Eloise Zoe. Oh, that's wonderful. Nice. Hold on one second. I must do this, I must say. What not a Bedouin. Be beautiful choice. She used Zoe as the middle name, which is nice because her first cousin, Zoe, died at age 28. And they were best buds. I like it. Eloise Zoe. I'm not reading their last names, but it's a mouthful. Okay, that kid's got a hyphen already. That's great. So yeah, we want to be perfect. You're going to have to learn to trust that you have been perfect up to now. And that being wrong about a little earthly thing is not the end of the world. and it doesn't detract from who you are. You're an entity having a human experience right now, and it should be convincing, and it is. So we have to get lighter. We have to try to get more in touch with the vibration that is our higher self, not the one that is looking at all these daily things and handling books and stuff like that. The reason I have this out, number one, it was most convenient of all of them that I have over here, but this is a good one because it goes through the whole law of attraction thing about basically your personal guidance system to whether you're doing the right thing for you or not is your feelings. Again, it always comes back to your feelings. Your feelings are your guides. It doesn't mean that you should do everything spontaneously by feeling, but you need to do that more often. Like, okay, I know it's hard. You see somebody and they're a stranger, but something in you from deep within, okay, not a thought like, wow, she's cute, I think I'll flirt with her. No, something from deep within is saying, say hello, just say hello, or puts another word in your mouth. Just say it. That's when you do it. That's when you do it. In that moment, you cannot second guess it. You cannot second think it. There's a reason you're being inspired to speak. The universe is using you. And in return for you helping the universe accomplish what it wants to accomplish, you will be rewarded. You're part of the universe. We are all part of the universe. The universe wants to be happy itself, and it wants us to be happy so it can be happy. Do you get it? We're all connected. If we're all vibrating like this, if we go higher, we have those angelic voices. No, I'm getting carried away with myself. The higher the vibration, the more bliss you will feel. And bliss is where it's at. And bliss is the reason I've been even using the bliss word, which is not a word I use often, because that is what I experienced when my father visited me. And I could not come up with a single word, but I mean, I guess I have used bliss in that context, but I don't usually say, I want you to experience bliss so you can experience bliss every day. But I didn't realize that the level of bliss that I experienced and the level of communication that was achieved between my father and myself is possible for people who are bent on having that experience. Some people refer to it as the Kundalini energy, but whatever it is, I'm calling it bliss. It is a feeling that is in your body where you are expanding. You feel like everything in your heart is expanding. Your heart energy is expanding. Everything in you is expanding. And you are smiling with every cell in your body, not just your face. And you are so full of joy and connection with the universe and feeling a love that goes beyond the word love, that tears just roll down your face. Tears of joy. And you will realize when you're like this that, wow, or it's beyond words. This is what it's like to be me, us, we. So I have had that experience, and I did not think it could be duplicated at will. I felt that my father's visit was like being blessed. It was like being touched by an angel. It was that intense. It never occurred to me I could be trained to do it anytime I want. And other people can be trained to enjoy the same amazing healing on every level experience. So I want you to consider that possibility, that by raising your vibration, by repeatedly, clearly stating to the universe what it is you desire through your feelings, you must feel like the way you want to feel in the future. Imagine having something that makes you feel so good you are crying with joy. Can you think of that? Can you imagine yourself being in a place near you or not near you, anywhere on the planet, or just sit there with your eyes closed and your energy getting higher and higher and lighter until you are touching the hand of God or looking in the face of God. It's that kind of love. No, you do not see God. It's like blinding. This feeling of love and light is so blinding. Even with your eyes closed, you feel, if I could not endure this indefinitely. The love is so much, my heart will burst, my body will explode. I feel so totally cherished by the universe, so loved, so blessed. And that's what I got to experience for 45 minutes. And people are doing it. Thousands of people are deliberately experiencing this very thing for like an hour. They're surpassing what I had. So that's awesome. It means it's attainable. Well, I don't know how much she costs, but well, you can order Bliss in terms of ordering meditations to help you get there. So I mean, you can do things here, definitely. But there's a lot of information for free. It's there. Some of them are meditations. You can look for the meditations of. Let me write it again. It's, what's his name? Doctor. Come on. No, I'm not reporting myself. I'm just trying to type here. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Not Daspexa. I hate these little teeny keyboards. How do you people use these things? That's right, okay. His YouTube videos, he's got his own website where you can read what you want, but you'll get a lot more out of a lot of the stuff that he's been in many, many interviews over the last several years. He's been around a while. He's got 20 years in this research. He has studied over 13,000 brain scans and heart scans. Yeah, definitely next level shit, okay? So, it's up to you, you know, how much you want to work on it, but every step you take is going to be an improvement. You're going to feel better every time you change your thoughts. When you catch yourself full of self-loathing or going around your mind about something you didn't like your reaction to and you haven't forgiven yourself yet, these are problems. It's a serious problem. You can't stay stuck in those kinds of feelings, or you would just undo yourself physically. If you maintain dissatisfaction with yourself, and if you keep criticizing yourself, you are eating away at your own body. You're going to have more pain, and you will notice every time you get scared about money problems, you start to have more lower back pain. The more you suppress your anger, the more back pain. Lower back pain is connected with insecurity, usually financial. But because that is second chakra, that's also your survival. So obviously, lower back pain is not just weak back and a weak core. It is indicative of having some serious fuck-ups in your life. Not you, but people around you. Parents, family usually. So the worst things come from family. Family's our first teacher. It's the nest from which we have to fly. And with some of us, the sooner the better. But it's all for your own good. And because everything you did And everything you're going to do is in an assistance to the universe. So even if you are not focusing on helping yourself and improving your life, things that you're doing, thinking, and saying are interacting with other people's vibrations and affecting them. Yep. You have to start understanding it's self-inflicted. Now, there are conditions, of course, that have to be overcome, but if it's not, well, actually, even chemical imbalances have been fixed by getting to that bliss level and sustaining it. So that connection changes us. And the more time you spend working it out, but it starts with really simple ideas. You must forgive yourself, your past. You can forgive other people, but the real person you need to forgive is you. You have to forgive yourself for holding anger, for holding judgment. You have to hold yourself responsible for your own feelings. And yeah, you might sit there and cry it out, but you got to get rid of it one way or another. And you have to face it. You have to face where you could have done better, but you have to let it go. You gotta say, okay, I wish I had done better. In the future, I will. And that's the best you can say to the past. I wish I had done better, if it's that part of the past you're looking at. But now I will do better in the future. Or if you really messed up, it's like, I will never do that again. So you learned. That's how we do it. And the universe is perfectly happy with you. Yeah, you're still here, right? That's proof the universe is happy with you. When the universe is done with you being here, the universe takes you home. So whatever reason the universe has, that's what it does. But you're still here. You have work to do on yourself because you wanted to do it, and that's why you're here now. Or for others that you have agreed to work with others. Whatever it is that you don't know yet, if you keep reaching out and you keep reaching in, you will start reaching up. And then, now, you grew up in the Christian background. So you know that it's all about putting an intermediary in between you and God, and that's Jesus. Now, for people who love and grew up with Jesus and continue to feel that way, then Jesus is the way to go. But the truth is, we don't need an intermediary. We go direct. Our energy goes direct. So if you want to take a detour through another person, you're invited to do that, whatever makes you feel safe and good. Okay, the whole idea is getting to that level of bliss. Those of you who grew up with the idea of Jesus as a loving being will get a chance when you go home to connect with that exact love that you have imagined from Jesus. You will get to meet that energy. Just like if you grew up worshiping Zeus, Muhammad, whoever was your greatest spiritual leader in your heart, you will have that experience of connection with them. But while you're here, you need connection first with yourself, and then you in yourself will reach out. And those wonderful entities that you call by any name will be reaching back, and they will help lift you. So connect whenever possible. You catch yourself thinking about how shitty you were, say, wait, I just caught myself thinking how shitty I was. And then think about when that was. When was that? 10 years ago? 20 years ago? 30 years ago? 40 years ago? When was it? What period of your life? And did you choose it? Was it incidental? Was it you were put into this or that situation? Was it a society basically screwed you over? Or you got drafted? Or whatever the reasons, you ended up in a situation and things happened that were not in your control. That's simple. Wasn't your job? You couldn't do anything but what you were told. And you had to go with, no matter who it was that told you, no matter how stupid or crazy they were, you had to do it. But all during that time, you also took a lot of shit. You put up with a lot of shit. And now you're stuck with all those speeches you wish you could have said to these people. But most of them are dead now. And they are paying because from the other side, you're not spared the feelings that you have inflicted upon others. Nor are you spared your own self-punishment. If you believe you have to be punished, then you will experience some of that as well. This is another reason to forgive yourself. You know how I feel about Donald Trump in general. But I will tell you the truth. And sincerely, I feel sorry for him because I see a dying man and I know what's going to happen when his reckoning comes. Although it's not biblical, except briefly for those who are totally convinced by whatever their books are, you will get a chance to enjoy all of that or fear it, whatever it is that you need. But ultimately, you are safe and you end up being your guides chuckling and showing you the truth and said, how did you like that demon mask, honey? You've been scaring people for 50 years about the devil, but there isn't one, is there? Now that you're home, you remember. Aloha. Listen to your inner voice. It'll guide you. So, if we're having specific issues, specific episodes that we are trying to learn how to deal with, the nice thing about this particular book, if you learned the lessons in the first couple of books, you really don't need this. You already get it. But there are people who are still having a problem rephrasing what's going on with them. So this breaks it down. Like if you want to deal with this, it works best if you are in this emotional range. For example, anger down to just frustration, irritation, or impatient. So if you're in that range, then this exercise or this response will work. It'll help you get out of that. And it's got things like the neighbor's situation. I used to like this neighborhood, but then some people moved in next door and they're just awful neighbors. And blah, 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 blah. I'm embarrassed to have people to visit. I feel blame. I feel discouraged. I feel anger. But now I remember that I have this capable, effective, willing, universal manager who works expressly for me. Always. So you rephrase things, all right? So you can say, I have a lousy neighbor whose dog shits in my yard. I'm getting angry. I'm frustrated. I don't know who to complain to. But you have other things you could say and think. I would like this dog to find another place away from my yard. You don't have to wish the dog bad things. You don't have to wish it dies or... Oh, dear. Excuse me. Uh-oh. Shit. Ambulances to the senior home. Okay. So, I would like this dog to find another place. I would like these junker cars to be moved from the street. I would like to have a good relationship with my neighbors. I want to be proud to live on the street. Thank you for taking care of these things, you say to the universe. Instead of focusing on how upset you are about the things you don't like, you're feeding all of your energy to what you don't like. Instead, say what you would like. I'd like them to fix this. I'd like them to be nicer. I'd like them to be friends. I'd like them to clean up their yard. All right, so tell the universal manager whatever however that looks. Universal manager, also, you can say it to Jesus. Okay. Jesus is your guy, then ask Jesus. Ask Jesus to help that dog poo elsewhere. There is no thing on this planet that is too small or insignificant to ask the universe for help with. That's what it's all about. Learning to ask for the right help in the right way. You have to get out of your own way. If you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed, disappointed, discouraged, all of these things are telling the universe you want more circumstances to create those feelings in you. The faster you get out of a feeling you don't desire more of, the better it is for you. The faster the universe can turn it around. So, applying the Book of Positive Aspects process. Positive aspects. Again, there's an emotional scale that works best. For example, if you're trying to look for positive aspects, if you are completely freaking out and overwhelmed, it will not work. That is not the time for you to sit down and think how wonderful your life really is. You're not going to feel like you have enough or you're safe if you are busy freaking out. So this one, applying the Book of Positive Aspects, to sit there and come up with a list of positive aspects about something, you need to be at the very bottom, frustrated or irritated or impatient, but joy. The more joy you can feel, the faster, more accurately, your ideas, your desires will manifest. Joy is the secret ingredient to everything. Faster you can rise to it, again, bliss. It is what changes your entire body. And if you keep going there, it will change your personality. It will make you happier. It'll make you more productive. You're not going to have to look around for things to do because you'll be inspired. It behooves all of us to spend a little bit more time working on who we are so that our futures that we have to first create up here, and in here our futures are being made in a way that's going to be pleasing, enticing, enjoyable, where we're connected with ourselves first and then the world. So think about it tonight. And now, unless there's somebody with a question, I'm going to say goodnight. I see there's only a few people here, but since one of you is somebody who just came in, I want to give you a chance. I've been on a lot today, almost 2 hours again now, so I really need to rest my voice and take my meds, get ready for bed. So no questions? No questions. But you can go back and rewind this one or the one that we did earlier today. There's useful information in both. And I hope that you found something inspiring today. Remember, keep looking for the sunny side inside of yourself. That's where your power is. So sweet dreams, everybody. It's Eastern Standard Time, getting late in the evening for me. Well, not lately, but you know. It's after 7 p.m. and I've been up since 4 this morning. So